Aloha, this is Tim. I'm back for another iOS 1 versus iOS 5 comparison. In this video, I will be demonstrating the YouTube application and how that app has transformed over these many years. Before you is an iPhone 2G running iOS 1.0.2 and an iPhone 4S running iOS 5.1. So let's just dive into the YouTube application. You'll notice first off, the application icon is exactly the same. And let's find out if there are settings for this application. So what I'm seeing is there are no settings on the current iPhone or the original. So with that, let's just dive into the app itself. So you start out in the application at the Featured tab, and here you will have your featured movies. And something to note here, in an interesting way, the original iPhone running the original OS does not seem to be able to communicate with YouTube. So something to note, if you're still running and rocking the original iPhone, there is actually no way to interact with YouTube on this device. It's air playing movies. So let's try to play that again and just demonstrate that the iPhone 2G is now obsolete with YouTube. So the app itself has been broken. It does not work. It will not refresh the screen. If I try to go to mobile YouTube, so let's go to youtube.com and see what happens here. So big deal was when YouTube introduced this stuff, they said they were going to re-encode everything for the iPhone, and they have. But they have not updated it to work with the older devices. So we try to go here, and let's try to play a video. Let's try to play the first one that's shown here. So let's try to play this video right here. So this is YouTube on the web browser. That should work with an iPhone. It says an error occurred while performing this operation. In the new iPhone, in the iPhone 4S, if I go there, youtube.com, you will have no problems playing that video. The problem is the Safari, the whatever YouTube has turned off functionality for this original iPhone. So if we load up that same screen, you have the same ability, this time to actually play that video. So the big thing to note here, YouTube is now obsolete on that original iPhone. You have this is what was last loaded up on YouTube. So you have no ability, as I try to hit here, it says cannot connect to YouTube. It's just can't do it. If you look at an interface level, what has changed? So you have the same tabs mostly. You start with the featured, with the most viewed, you have search, and you have the ability to, so what's new? So the ability to have history is the same, the ability to have top rated is the same, and most recent is also the same. What is different here is the ability to at least sign into your account. So on the newer iPhones, you can actually sign into your YouTube account and thus have favorites, thus have subscriptions, and thus have playlists, and thus have your videos. That is not present on the original that is not present on the original iPhone. You do have bookmarks on the original, and bookmarks is something you don't have, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there are no bookmarks on the current iPhone. So that's something they did away with in lieu of favorites. So let's get out of that. Oopsie, let's cancel that. So from an interface standpoint, this is exactly the same, except for the order. So instead of today being first, you have all first. Then you switch the order around a little bit. If you go to search, pretty much the same, except for this one won't be able to search. No bookmarks. And then from there, let's go to most recent. And it'll show me cannot connect. So that's pretty much the same there. If you go to top rated, it will not be able to connect there. Or it did in this case, evidently. Let's try to play something. And I'm guessing it will say cannot connect. That is right, airplane movie. And there we go. Difference here in top rated, you have the ability to see today and all and that kind of stuff. If we go back to here, to the more, and go to history, history is pretty much the same. Clear went from a red. So clear is red versus the icon up there is not red. So that is a difference in the YouTube application. And that is about it, I would say. If we go to play a video, here, you'll see pretty much the same if I was actually able to play this. If we hit done, we got some options here. So first off, you'll notice completely different interface here. You've got info and more videos. In this case, you just simply have this name, description, how to bookmark or share. In this one, you have full out commenting, rating, that kind of thing, and related videos are below underneath there. So you also have that view if you go backwards one. So that view is present there as well. So a little bit different interface there. There's no option to go inside like you can here and see the comments, things like that. So that is a YouTube app, and it's really interesting that it is now obsolete. The YouTube app for the original iPhone no longer works, and that's a just interesting discovery. Original iPhone is end of life for YouTube. Thanks for watching this video comparing iOS 1 to iOS 5 for the YouTube application. I hope this has been handy and helpful to you. At least now you know you can't use YouTube on that original iPhone. And stay tuned for more comparisons of iOS 1 versus iOS 5. It's Tim Shadden. I run the iWake podcast, found at iwakepodcast.com. Please check that out. Until next time, aloha.